Alright guys, Bitcoin just a few hours ago hit a crucial level, and the question is, will this be enough for a reversal? I'm going to show you the exact levels I'm watching next, where I'm taking profits on my short and where I'm potentially entering a brand new short position. Let me show you exactly what's going on. But first, a quick recap. In the previous video, Bitcoin was trading below two crucial levels, the value area low of our fixed range volume profile and the daily level. And we said that a break above those two levels would be a bullish sign for Bitcoin in the short term, and that if it happens, the next targets are the liquidity levels sitting in this area right here. And Bitcoin did break above and saw a pretty decent 2.7% push to the upside. It swept our first liquidity level and then got rejected, but not from a random level. If we pull up the fixed range volume profile again, what you'll see is that Bitcoin got rejected nearly exactly from the value area high of our range. So the levels that we set up are being respected very well so far. And from there, Bitcoin broke back below the daily level and the value area low once again. And we said the next major target to the downside is the CME gap at $77,850 with the liquidity level a little lower at $77,700 and the golden pocket lining up with both of those levels. And yes, after breaking below the value area low and the daily support, Bitcoin just a few hours ago pushed straight into our target zone. It hit the CME gap, swept the liquidity level and hit the golden pocket to the dollar. And right now, Bitcoin is seeing a reaction off of that area. And I did say that I would be taking profits when this level gets hit, and so I did. I also posted about it on my profile on X in case some of you guys missed the previous videos. So definitely give me a follow there as well, because I will start posting more updates on there too. And right here on this sweep of the golden pocket and the CME gap, I did also enter a new long position in case we do see some kind of a bounce from here, with a very tight stop loss just below this recent low. And let me show you the target and resistance levels I'm watching from here and where I will be taking profits on this long. The first level is this daily level at $78,650, and if we take the Fib retracement and drag it from this high to the recent low, what you'll see is that the golden pocket comes in just slightly above the daily level. So definitely the first area where I will be taking profits off the table just to de-risk the trade a little. I'm not necessarily expecting a big rejection there, but anything could happen, and risk management is of course the most important part of trading. Then the next target is this liquidity level at approximately $79,500, and that is the target, but not necessarily the exact resistance, because a little higher, if we pull up the volume profile again and extend it to the end, what you'll see is that the value area low falls slightly above the liquidity level. So definitely a major resistance sitting right above the target. And if we also take the anchored VWAP and anchor it at this recent high, you'll see that if Bitcoin does really pull a reversal from here, this VWAP will fall right in between the liquidity level and the value area low. So definitely an area to watch very closely for a potential rejection, and where I would be taking even more profits. And before I continue with everything else I have to show you, I would really appreciate it if you guys are finding this helpful to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Alright, let's get back to the video. And in the previous video, we also talked about the 50 and the 200 EMA on the 2-hour and the 4-hour time frames. And if we right now pull up the 2-hour, what you will see is that the two EMAs are coming very close together. And if the 50 EMA does cross below the 200 EMA right here, that would be the first cross since the start of this entire uptrend. And that would definitely be a slightly more bearish signal for Bitcoin. But if we zoom out to the 4-hour, the 50 and the 200 are not close together just yet. And that gives me some reason to think that maybe some kind of a reversal from around here is possible before another potential rejection at the levels that we just discussed. And if we right now open up the liquidation heat map on the 2-week chart, what you'll see is that a lot of the downside liquidations right at this recent low were swept on the way down. And there are now new liquidations stacking up above this recent high. And if we zoom in a little to the 1-week chart, that is even more visible. A clear large liquidation cluster sitting above $82,000. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it must be swept, but it is definitely some kind of a magnet for the price to the upside and a slightly more bullish signal for Bitcoin in the short term. And if we zoom out to the daily time frame right now and open up both the MACD and the RSI, what you'll see is that a potential bullish divergence is actually setting up on both indicators. If we look right here, Bitcoin is making a higher low on price, but the MACD is making lower low. And on the RSI, the same thing. Higher low on the price, lower low on the indicator. So that is a potential hidden bullish divergence forming on the daily time frame right at this major support level. And that definitely adds to the probability of a bounce from around here. But what if Bitcoin doesn't hold back and breaks straight above the value area low and back into the range? Well, that would of course be a more bullish sign for Bitcoin. And I do think if that does happen, I will get stopped out of my major short. But that is completely fine because we already took profits on the way down multiple times and will end up with profits either way. But let me show you the major target to the upside if that does happen. The first one will of course be the liquidity level at the recent high. But if we zoom out and take the Fib retracement from this high exactly to this low at around $60,000, what you'll see is that a major golden pocket has still not been hit on the normal chart. It has been already hit on the log scale as we talked about in the previous videos, but not on the normal chart, and it sits at around $84,000. And right at the golden pocket, the CME futures chart also has an unfilled CME gap sitting just above $84,000. So the golden pocket and the CME gap are lining up at the exact same area. That is definitely a major target if this slightly more bullish scenario for Bitcoin actually plays out. But that is also where I would be looking to fire another major short position. So that's where we are. Our target got hit to the dollar, profits taken on the short, new long entered with a tight stop loss, and the levels are set for both directions. As always, this is not financial advice and manage your risk. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.